Find your mouthpiece and put on your jock straps. It's the Sports Blitz with Doug and Robbie.
Okay, how long is your show?
You guys have such a great setup.
Listen, if you're under a rock or if you're in a cave, come on out and listen to our episode.
It was fun talking baseball. I love talking Red Sox. I love talking coaching.
I don't care because I would rather there not be an MLB season than have to sit and watch the colossal embarrassment.
Hey, hello, I am Bloom. Yeah, it's Doug and Robbie from the Sports Blitz. I just wanted to find out whether you need some pitching.
There you go. In 5, 4, 3.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Sports Blitz. This is episode number 110 of the Sports Blitz. And as always, I'm Robbie, joined on the top of my screen, but who knows if you're watching this where he is on the screen, by Doug. Doug, how are you tonight, man?
I'm doing good.
You're from
Sorry,
Nashville. You're from Nashville, Tennessee, apparently.
No, I was just looking down at you because you said I was on the top of the screen, so I was looking down. Just to say hello. It's
Hello.
a pleasure to be with you. Pleasure to be with you again, Robbie, and looking forward to this episode.
Yeah, and this is a very super episode, and I'll explain why it's so super in just a moment. But before I do, Doug, you gotta know.
Super.
You gotta know with me that I gotta find a way to work in the puns at some point to open up an episode. It wouldn't be right if I did it. But anyway, before we get into the episode, as I was saying, we have a super sponsor, Doug, of tonight's episode. So why don't you tell all the people about our sponsor once again?
I also have a surprise for you, Robbie, that I didn't tell you, but we have a second sponsor.
Oh, man. Oh, boy.
We have a sponsor number 2. We have 2 sponsors, so I will tell you that.
Did you charge them $2?
I did, because it's sponsor number 2. I'm still waiting for the $2. But that's okay. It's all
it's
good.
in perpetuity, you know. It's
that's
an
true.
escrow at
That's
the
true.
moment. You know?
That's true. One of my friends, who I'll tell you in a few minutes. Tell you after I do the first sponsor. So our first sponsor is Diamond Organizing, and I know everybody here has a space, a cabinet, a drawer, a closet that is absolutely overwhelming. And it's overwhelming because it's not organized. It's disorganized. So the best thing to do is call Zyman Organizing. They will work with you to create and organize that particular space, which is overwhelming. So it is a serene and a joy to spend time in. Just remember, Zyman Organizing, creating a stress-free. That's our first. Our second.
Shout out Simon Organizing.
Yep. Our second is new, the Sports Blitz. And I think it's something something that's really super, super important to talk about. And I'm hoping everybody starts talking about it out there. But I have a new friend that I've known for a few months now. And his name is Wes Woodson.
Yep. I know exactly where you're going with this. Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And
good guy,
Wes,
from what I've seen.
Wes is on YouTube, so check out his page, please. He's got some really super great advice. He basically talks about anxiety, and it's really super important that people talk about this because it's a subject that people sometimes don't talk about. He also has a book out. Says I Have Anxiety Somewhat. It's a great book. I'm not saying that you should buy the book, but I would like you to be able to go to his site on YouTube and be able to watch some of his videos that he's put together. He has been on TED Talk. He went to Babson College.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Another Babson guy. Yes.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep. And yep, absolutely. And he's done a really great job with getting his story out. He's got a story that he's trying to tell. He's trying to get it out there. He's got a couple books that are out there. One of them is the one I just showed you. And it's really super important to talk about anxiety and I don't know anybody that doesn't have it at one or two points in their life or every day. And it's super important to talk about it. So he is our second sponsor, which is Wes Woodson.
Nice.
Check him out on YouTube.
Yes,
And his YouTube page is called Wes Woodson.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description as always.
We'll put a link in the description, absolutely. But I'm very excited.
Yeah,
he's
shout
on board
out
and
Wes. Shout out Wes. Definitely. And Wes, if you're watching this, hey, you have an open invite to come and join us here on the Sports Blitz.
I've already asked him. He can't commit right this very second, but he is very much looking forward to possibly coming on the show.
Cool.
So yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
That
you've got that to look forward to. So as I was saying, and again, shout out to both Diamond Organizing and Wes Woodson. Thank you for your support and sponsorship of this episode. This is going to be a super episode, and what I mean by that is this is going to be a Super Bowl themed episode because Doug, I don't know if you noticed, but the Super Bowl is this Sunday. In case you've been living under a rock or in a cave. I know, Doug, you're a very busy man, so it may have just slipped through the cracks. It's all good. It's all
Who's
good, man.
It?
That would be, hold on a second. I got to look it up quickly on my phone here. Cause again, life just gets in the way and you just, some things pay attention to, some things you pay attention to than others. No, I'm kidding. Obviously it is the, Los Angeles Rams, hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. And by why I say hosting is because the game is being played in LA and SoFi Stadium. So for the second year in a row, the host team in terms of like the host stadium's team is actually playing in the game itself. So go figure.
It happens.
But what we wanted to do tonight is do sort of our official Sports Blitz Super Bowl 56 preview. And then also we've got a little fun Super Bowl themed game that Doug has been kind enough to come up with for us. And so he's going to kind of take the reins, sort of the second part of the episode to lead us through that. So very much looking forward to that.
Past Super Bowls too? Oh, never mind.
It's amazing. There's 55 of them, if you can believe it. I mean, it's crazy.
Wow, I can't even imagine that.
Can't even count to 55. So I mean, there, it's amazing. Yeah. So there you go. But let's get into this coming Super Bowl 56, which comes after 55. Surprisingly, again, I can't do numbers.
In at least in the United States, it does. I'm not sure about other countries, but yes, it does.
Maybe in Canada it's different, but at least here it comes after 55.
Don't know.
No, and don't even get me started with the Roman numerals because I would not get those.
No, we just don't do that.
No,
I don't. I have to look those up because I'm like, what?
Nope.
I know 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
I know 1, 2, and 3.
I know maybe 1 like through 5, and that's about it. It's like it's pretty much.
I actually know at least 1 through 4 because you know why? Because of Rocky.
Oh yeah, okay.
The Rocky movies.
Yeah. There you go. That's all you need. That's all you need. It's perfect. So there you go.
I know.
All good. But anyway, so Super Bowl 56 again. As I was saying, it is the LA Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals, both number 4 seeds, very interestingly enough. The Rams, the NFC champions, the Bengals, the AFC champions. There I go, stating the obvious again. But before we get into sort of the game itself, Doug, I did want to sort of take a look at, how both these teams got here, because both of them have had very impressive runs through the playoffs to get to this point. You had the Rams, again, the number 4 seed in the NFC. They knocked off the Arizona Cardinals on Wild Card Weekend, or Super Wild Card Weekend, as they're calling it now for some odd reason, before I know
Everything has to be super when it comes to football. The
I know,
NFL.
seriously, you're not kidding. And then obviously they went on the road and upset good old friend Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the divisional round before actually getting to host the NFC Championship game against another old friend, Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. And you
have a lot of old friends.
We really do. We really no, it's true.
We do. We have a lot of friends. We have a lot of old friends.
Yeah, we really do. A lot of friends who leave us for some odd reason. I don't get it. But so they did have a come from behind
victory. Winning city. Why would they want to leave?
City of champions, man. I don't get it.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Well, we can have a whole episode on why people leave us.
Why do people leave Boston? Like it doesn't.
Why do people leave?
Is there something in the air? Like I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it's the tea. You know, a lot of people don't like.
Maybe it's me. Maybe they're leaving because of me. It's me. I don't know. They keep calling. I don't know. Maybe that's I don't know what it is.
Who knows? We seem to have a lot of these people on speed dial that all of a sudden, they just leave us. I don't
know what it is.
But like I said, they did defeat the 49ers. Again, they get here 2 Super Bowl 56, and then for the Bengals, again, a very sort of Cinderella-esque run. Obviously, they beat the Raiders for their first playoff win since 1991 on Wild Card Weekend. Then they go to Tennessee, the top seed, and upset them on a last-second field goal. And then go to Kansas City, who saw that coming? The Bengals upsetting the Chiefs. Yeah, I don't think anybody other than maybe Craig in our group text chat saw the Bengals upsetting the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game in overtime to get here to the Super Bowl. So, Doug, I just kind of wanted to get your take before we get into the matchup itself on just both these teams' roads to getting here to Super Bowl 56, because like I said, both teams coming out of their respective conferences as the number 4 seed with somewhat similar paths, and also both kind of, I know the term Cinderella gets sort of thrown out a lot, but really, if you look at both sides, really, especially Cincinnati, I think it's very applicable here when you talk about these runs, going on the road for basically at least 2 out of the 3 rounds for both these teams, or at least 1 out of the 3 rounds for both these teams, and pulling off some pretty impressive upsets on their way here to get to, like I said, Super Bowl 56.
Yeah, they both teams did not have an easy access to any of it. I mean, I thought they had a very difficult run to get to where they are right now, especially considering and it's not even odds when you look at the Bengals against the Chiefs. I mean,
Chiefs 7.5 point favorites heading into that game. Just it's worth repeating. 7.5 point favorite for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, but exactly, and you have to think that Mahomes knows how to get to a Super Bowl. Of course, I mean it's pretty obvious he's done that before, but he's also messed up before too. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to go with the Chiefs, thinking that they're just going to roll over this team. I mean, there's been a lot of teams that have done this. I think what's interesting is, and I'll throw this out to you. It's really strange. Yeah, I'm going to throw it out so you catch it. It's super, super strange. I was just thinking about this the last few days, and I wasn't necessarily thinking about the road. Yeah, I guess I was thinking about the road, how they got there, how the Rams actually got there also. But just thinking about, how we talk about, sometimes we talk about Super Bowls in the past, we talk about playoffs in the past. The LA Rams remind me a lot of, which is really interesting, because the 2001 Patriots. And the reason is because the 2001 Patriots had a great defense. They had Tom Brady. Okay, they had Tom Brady. They had a great kicker in Vinatieri. their road wasn't easy to get there. They weren't expected to win at all because the Rams, oh my goodness, they played the Rams. The Rams were so
go figure.
good.
Yeah, the greatest show on turf. Greatest show on
That's
turf.
right. The Rams were so good that there was no way that Brady was going to be able to beat them. Although they had a very, very good defense that year, and so does LA this year. So it kind of, I don't know what took me back there.
Well, couldn't you kind of make that comparison to sort of both teams in this game? I feel like you can kind of in different ways kind of make that same.
But I think LA has a little bit of better defense than the Bengals do.
No, but I'm just talking about like in terms of like the road and sort of the set. I mean, I think both teams sort of have that 0-1 Patriots-esque sort of
exactly. But again, it's on the Bengals side.
The young quarterback. I mean, second year in the league. You know, Joe Burrow.
Exactly. Now Joe Burrow. Now they're starting to compare him to Brady. Now, I mean, let's
pump the brakes on that
way too early. But then they were doing Patrick Mahomes to Brady too. So I'm like, stop it.
Mahomes, you got to win more than one Super Bowl in 4 tries.
Yeah, you do. You do. Yeah, you got to win a little bit more for us to. I don't care about the regular season. I'm talking about Super Bowls. You got to win a few more Super Bowls. You got to get in that conversation.
You got to not lose twice to Brady in the playoffs before you get compared to Brady.
Correct. But if you think about it, Joe Burrow being just unbelievable this year.
Yeah.
Very Brady-esque, like in the regular season.
Right.
Young quarterback, Brady young quarterback 2001. So, yeah, you're right. There's comparisons on both sides.
Right.
So that's what I've been thinking just lately about how they got there. You almost have to sit down and say, I've seen this before. I've seen this. Where have I seen this before? Wait. Let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I look at it. You know, obviously the Bengals having a terrific offense. I mean, they have 2 fantastic wide receivers. They have a great young quarterback. And then on the other side, you got LA.
How about running back? What about Joe Mixon and running back?
Joe Mixon was good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very good running back. I know because I played you know what I did? I'm going to tell you in a second what I actually did with the Madden for this year. So, and on the other side, yeah, exactly. They've got a great wide receiver, great running back. And then on the other side, you have LA, who has a fantastic defense, a very good quarterback, and some pretty good wide receivers himself, on that team.
It's amazing how Stafford and Becca both lead crap teams, and all of a sudden they're in the Super Bowl. Basically their first year out of those situations. It's amazing how that works out.
Well, did you hear that he almost went to the Patriots? He had a decision: Patriots or LA.
Yeah, no, I did hear about that.
That just came out.
Yeah, no, I
was
saw that interview. Yeah,
he was one. Oh no! Now it doesn't mean he ain't coming, and I'm not sure if I want him or not, but I don't know. But that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah,
I look at it in that way. I look at it through past teams as opposed to what they are now, because what they are now is pretty much whoever wins is going to have that legacy of winning the Super Bowl. But other than that, neither one of those teams really have a big legacy, especially the Bengals. I mean, they don't. I mean, you said since 1991, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, over 30 years ago. So it's one of those things where that's how I look at it. I look at it. Let me try to compare these 2 teams to past teams.
Yeah.
So of course I think Patriots.
It's a perfect comparison. I completely agree with you. That comparing either of those teams to the 0-1 Patriots, it's merited because there's a lot of similarities there, I think, on both sides. I think you're absolutely right on that. And it's interesting because, you do look at the quarterback position. I mean, when you look at any team, especially a team that makes it all the way to the Super Bowl, you tend to sort of start at least by looking at the quarterback position. And I mean, both these teams have tremendous quarterbacks. Both of them have had very different roads to get here. You look at a guy like Matt Stafford, who just sort of, all those frustrating years in Detroit, and then all of a sudden he comes here to the Rams surrounded by, some more talent, to say the least, and is able to sort of get over that hump and make the playoffs and win playoff games and get to the biggest game of them all. And then you look at Joe Burrow again, second year in the league. And it's interesting because Joe Burrow, as many people will remember, in his final year at LSU, just 2 years ago, won a national championship along with winning the Heisman. He won a national championship, so he does have that sort of big championship game experience. I know, obviously, it's much different the college national championship game than to the Super Bowl.
He's got the experience of being on the big stage.
But I mean, there are. I'm sure that there are some lessons that he could take out of that coming in to this game. And I mean, I'll tell you this: for being a second year in the league, he shows a lot of confidence. Like he shows veteran-esque confidence. Anytime he's out there. I mean, you don't see those young quarterback jitters from him at all. I mean, he just, not cocky is not the right word, but he just has, like I said, that confidence of one of these more veteran quarterbacks to say, I'm just as good as the guy across from me, and I can make these plays too. I mean, you look at that Kansas City game, and you look at some of the plays he made. I mean, we talk a lot about Patrick Mahomes and how in the world he gets out of some of these situations that he's in and makes some of the plays that he does. Burrow made some equally, if not better, looking plays. I mean, he made some Mahomes-esque plays. You and I were texting about. I remember during that AFC Championship game, it's just like, how did he do that? Like, that looks exactly like Mahomes. Like, all these different things. I mean, it's just, I think, the teams is, both these teams, and part of the reason why they got here is, they're very strong at the quarterback position. And I'm actually very intrigued to see this quarterback matchup. Again, two guys who have never played in the Super Bowl before. Again, it bears repeating. Neither of these quarterbacks have ever played in a Super Bowl. So you wonder how, especially early on in the game, what's that going to kind of look like? Obviously both these guys have now had playoff experience, but it's a whole nother level when you're in the big games. So
what I like. What I like, Robbie.
Just
to kind of finish it up a little on this particular subject, but not subject, but thing that we're doing is the fact that I love the fact that it's two different teams.
Yeah,
I love the fact that it's two different teams. Now, obviously, when it was I didn't have a problem with that because the Patriots fan, obviously. Keep winning. We like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the Chiefs are in it again and this team's in it again, I'm like, okay, you know what? It's time for two different teams. And this is actually, and I'm going to predict this right up front. I'm not going to predict the score yet. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. You and I may do that at the end. I don't know. I don't. I could probably do it. I really haven't thought about it. I thought about it, but I really haven't delved too deep into it. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think this is going to be a really, really good game, and I think it's going to be a close game.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to be close, too.
Absolutely.
Because I think these teams are very, very well matched, and I think it's going to be a lot closer. There's not going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a blowout like the 1985 Bears and Patriots. Bears against the Patriots,
or like the Packers, and Patriots, from the early '90s or the mid '90s.
Why were the Patriots even in the Super Bowl that year?
Yeah. Might as well just have called the season after the AFC Championship game. Might as well have
How did they possibly get in there? I was like, oh my.
Yeah.
But you have to understand. I mean, in '85, the Bears had the refrigerator. They had McMahon. They had
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton. So
yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it was
I think Willie Gault was on the team.
It was a juggernaut. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about like a super team
Yeah,
versus
absolutely.
a Tony Eason run Patriots team. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, two different levels on the scale there.
Absolutely two different levels, and I'm surprised we even got 10 points. Anything else?
No, that's a good
But
point.
anyway, that's I think it's going to be a really good game. I really do.
I do too. I think it's going to come right down to the wire. And you bring up the defenses. I mean, both these teams have defenses that have shown the ability when, especially in the clutch moments, to make the big plays or to get the big stops. And so I kind of, you brought up defense earlier. Again, I will admit that I do not, up until these playoff runs, I did not follow the Cincinnati Bengals or the LA Rams as much as the true football analysts out there. But just talking about the defenses, I mean, from what you've seen, does one of these two teams' defenses sort of stand out more than the other, or do you think they're kind of both on the same sort of level heading into sort of the biggest stage here?
I think, and that's a great question. I think that LA has a slight edge, and the reason I say is because of Aaron Donald. I mean, he is just incredible on the defense.
Yeah.
I just think that I think, and it's not just him. It can't be just one player, but he is a game changer. He goes after the quarterback. Not that I'm nervous about Joe Burrow, getting out of the way of him or anything like that, but I just think that LA's defense is just slightly better because of Aaron Donald and of course their defensive line is just very, very good.
Von Miller. I mean, yeah, they got a good crew there.
He's 104 years old, but he's still playing.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely, and that's the other thing.
He chases the quarterback. He goes after the quarterback.
Well, you look at him in that, back with the Broncos and the Super Bowl against Carolina, Super Bowl 50. I mean, he definitely has that experience, on a Super Bowl winning defense, which I think, is invaluable for a Rams team as they prepare to go into the Super Bowl. So I think it's going to be very interesting. I wanted to get your opinion, Doug. I want to flip gears here a little bit before we get into, because I do want to do at least, some prediction prognostication, or at least attempt to here. But I didn't want to get your opinion on, because when people think about the Super Bowl, obviously they think about the game itself. And, obviously, being football fans like we are, we're definitely watching the game for the game itself. But I mean, especially when you don't have a team in the race, your mind does tend to wander to sort of more the entertainment aspects of a Super Bowl, as I'll call them, being the halftime show or the commercials or whatever the case may be. So I was just curious to get your take on this. Is that what aspects of the Super Bowl experience or Super Bowl watching experience, besides the game itself, are you most looking forward to on Sunday? And even these could be ones that you've looked forward to the most in the past as well. I mean, it's I was just curious to get your take on that.
If I don't if I don't like the two teams, and I'm not really interested, but I'll watch it anyway. We used to go to Super Bowl parties all the time.
Yeah.
Our friends, one of the friends that my wife grew up with, they used to have a Super Bowl party every year. They might still have one, but we don't go anymore, but especially during COVID time. But we used to go all the time. But sometimes we didn't really care who the teams were. Most of the time we did, because the Patriots were mostly in it, because we went during those Patriots really great years of winning Super Bowl. But what I look forward to is the commercials. It's absolutely the commercials. The commercials are between $2 and $4 million, sometimes higher than that. They are very creative, And it's the first time. What I like about it is it's the first time you're going to see this commercial. They don't show it all the way up to the game. They show it at the game. They show it during the game. And let me tell you, it makes even the person like my wife, who's really not interested unless the Patriots are in, has my wife watching the game just to see the commercials.
Right. Yeah.
And commercials are fantastic too. And then it's the voting, and I don't get into the puppy bowl or anything like that. It's not something I'm looking forward to watching, although it's cute, but I'm not really into that.
I pegged you as a kiddie bowl guy, man. I thought you were all into the cats, man. Yeah,
the kiddie bowl is much better. So that's really kind of what I kind of look forward to when it comes to the game itself. I think a long time ago when I think when Pat Summerall and John Madden were doing the games way back when, it was fantastic because John Madden always had something to say, and we've talked about this before in other episodes, but he always had something to say about the water, the Gatorade cooler, having a baby Gatorade cooler. He'd mark things out. Oh, look at this bird over here, and he'd circle it and hope he doesn't go on the field. Or, oh, somebody lost a piece of equipment, and he circles it, and I don't know what that equipment is. I can't see what that is. You kind of look forward to it because you knew it was going to be entertaining. Do you know who's? And I'm going to ask you this question because I really, really seriously do not know. Do you know if Tony Romo's doing the game? No. I really hope I'm getting this right. No, it's Fox, I believe. Oh, okay, good.
Is it?
Okay.
Hold
no,
on.
no, I thought it was, but sometimes.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Hold on. I know it's not CBS, but I actually have to do a quick moment of research here to confirm.
Because sometimes. Sorry,
it's NBC. Sorry, it's NBC doing the game. Sorry,
it's NBC. Okay,
but
all right.
no, I knew it wasn't.
Sometimes they bring guys over. And they've done super well, and I just don't. If it's Tony Romo, I'm going to have a real hard time watching. Just saying.
Oh God! I mean, I can't. And I don't want to get too far off the rails on a Tony Romo rant here, but I was at my wit's end listening to him in that Kansas City Cincinnati game.
He was horrible.
I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Some of the things he tried to give the game to Kansas City give the game to Cincinnati before they even kicked the overtime winning field goal. I used to kind of enjoy because he knew a lot of the plays before they were going to happen. I used to kind of enjoy that when he was first starting out. Now I can't stand him anymore. I'll say that perfectly.
I can't watch a game I'll turn it down. I won't turn it off, but I'll turn it down. And
I'd rather listen to Scott Zolak because obviously I'm a Patriots fan, so I like listening to Scott Zolak anyway. But I would take Scott Zolak as announcer over Tony Romo in a heartbeat these days. It's not even a question.
I totally agree. Agree. I just didn't know because sometimes what they do is that they bring guys over. It doesn't happen like that too often because guys typically have contracts for specific.
Yeah, no, it's Michaels and Collinsworth. Yeah, I mean not Michaels. Okay. Whoever the guys with the Collinsworth now. Is it Michaels? I don't even know who does the NBA. I know Collinsworth still does it, but I forget who does the play-by-play now.
Yeah, Collinsworth's not my favorite either, but he's better than Romo. But he's not my favorite either.
True. I just like when at the beginning of the broadcast he slides as the Collinsworth slide. I always find that very entertaining.
Yeah, he was just I don't know. He just I guess maybe rubbed me the wrong way.
I'm not a big fan. It's funny. I'm not a big fan of any of the national.
I love Al Michaels. I love Al Michaels. I love.
No, I'm not a big fan.
Does Joe Buck do the
Buck and Aikman? Yeah, Buck and Aikman. Oh God, Joe
yeah,
Buck.
I like
Troy Aikman. All right, well, I guess I'm not a fan. I will be completely honest about it. I'm not a fan of Buck and Aikman either. But I prefer them over Nance and Romo. But I mean, I
do like Nance. Nance is from
Yeah,
around
I
here,
like
so
Nance.
Nance
I like
has always
Nance
been a
too.
New England guy.
No, I like Nance.
I
will
like Jim
say,
Nance a lot. I'm
I
not
think it's more
a big Aikman fan either, but
I'm not. I think
don't
it's
know.
more the color guys for me of those duos than
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Well, the old style is gone. So I that's why I try to on YouTube. I try to find some of the old games with Madden and Pat Summerall. Those guys were just
right.
fantastic. So and that's I'm hoping that it comes back in some way, and who knows. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I look forward to is really watching the commercials, and I mean, if the game is a blowout, it's like, okay, well, what's the next commercial? This is going to be pretty funny, and it's pretty cool. Having some football watching food,
Of course, yeah.
and just of course, yeah, just watching the game, and that's kind of what I look forward to, other than the game itself.
No, I'm in total agreement. I'm very intrigued. I will say this one final point on that is I'm very intrigued to see the halftime show this year, because it's like Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige. So it's like,
I mean, the only person I'm interested in seeing at all, possibly two, is Mary J. Blige and Snoop. Other than that, because I think Snoop does these great.
Well, I love the fact. I mean, I do love the fact they brought Snoop into it. I mean, it's an LA game. I mean, he's sort of Mr. California.
No, I understand why they did it.
So.
I'm just like not like.
Why Eminem? Why bring Eminem into the fray here? I mean, Eminem hasn't been relevant for like the last 10 years at least.
I have no idea.
So anyway, we'll save the Eminem bashing for another show. But
we'll have to do a portion of the next show about the halftime show and how good or how terrible it was.
Yeah, no, seriously.
They track singing? Is that what they were doing?
Are there any? I mean, are there? Will there be any? We could put aside. You know how they do these side wagers or these prop wagers for the games. And I remember last year we actually at this time had our good friend Drew on, to sort of describe some of the sports betting stuff. Shout out to him. Call back.
That's right.
Call back. But one of the prop bets. Will there be a wardrobe malfunction this game? Would be a very interesting prop bet to make.
Enough with the wardrobe thing. But yeah, I don't know. I will tell you that there have been some acts halftime shows that have been unbelievable.
Absolutely.
And you wanna and people
or national
watch,
anthems or national
not
anthems
because of the freaking game. They watch because they want to see that halftime show.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah,
unbelievable.
I agree.
Some of the acts that have been there too. So yeah, I mean, not real interested in watching the halftime show. Very, very much interested in watching the commercials.
Yeah. Same. Same here. I'm
out of the game. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, the last sort of thing I wanted to sort of talk about of the game, and I don't mean to put you I didn't mean to put myself on the spot, but I don't mean to put you on the spot as a little. I did want to do at least attempt to do a little Super Bowl 56 prediction. We do prognosticate on this show from time to time, and give some predictions. So. Again, we'll probably, who knows how right we will be, how wrong we will be. I've been dead wrong in all my predictions these playoffs. I have zero expectations going into this. But I was just curious, Doug.
That's the fun of it, being wrong.
Yeah, seriously.
Nobody can ever predict what's going to happen.
Sticking your neck out there. Just
not even Tony Romo, who played horribly. He can't even predict what's going to happen. So it's like,
No, it is so true. But no, I was just curious if you had, a sort of a final prediction for the game. Just whatever, however you want to do it. To give us your sort of final thoughts and predictions here, and then I'll get into mine as well.
Yeah, I actually think I'll tell you. I don't really have sometimes you have a clear, I hope this team wins because they're due or they haven't won one or, all this kind of stuff. You have that, feeling if your team's not in it, if the Patriots not in it, then who is there another team I really like? Yeah, there's a couple teams I kind of not necessarily follow, but kind of, in the back of my head, that's kind of like whatever. You always want to see a team win that has never won one. It's always like an underdog thing, and hey, who cares? But like in my heart of hearts, I kind of want, and you try to root for the, like, we're in the AFC, so you almost like root for the AFC versus the NFC. Worst comes to worst, you just root for that AFC team. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in the AFC, so that's right. That's like the and I've seen that. I've seen that at parties that we've gone to. Oh, I can't stand them, and I can't stand the NFC. But you know what? We should win. We should root for the AFC team because we're in the AFC and we want to see AFC beat the NFC. Blah blah. It is what it is. Whatever.
Right.
And I believe the AFC won the Pro Bowl. Correct? Am I correct on that?
Yep. You're correct.
And it was like that. The game was like explode. Hey, Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Did you see Mac Jones score that?
Oh, you mean the non-touchdown where he literally blew the whistle, ran 65 yards, and did the whatever, the gritty or whatever it is. I don't know what the move's called.
Awesome. I was going to use that as my final thought, but I had to say it right now. I had to say it.
He was loving life. Hey, good for him. Good for him. You go for it back.
That was awesome. That was great. So in my heart of hearts, when I think, like, kind of deep down, I kind of want the AFC to win. I kind of want the Bengals to win because Joe Burrow just reminds me a lot of when we first started out with our first Super Bowl and how exciting it was and how really cool it was. And he's very confident. Brady was very confident that year. He probably won't tell you he was, but at least he seemed like it. At least he was out there, accomplishing what he accomplished in 2001. But, in my heart of hearts, that's kind of what my thoughts are. Do I think they're going to win? No.
Hey, with the way this playoff run has gone, anything is possible at this point.
That's correct. That's correct, and that's why it's so difficult.
Yeah, it's like
that's why it's so difficult. It's so difficult. But if I were to put it out there and even put a score together, I would say it's really, really close. I'd say it's a field goal's worth of closeness. I'm going to say, and this is even more difficult. I'm going to say it's.
You don't have to give a score. I
don't mind giving a score at all. I'm going to say that it's going to be a little bit high scoring, a little bit. So I'm going to say because they both have really good offenses too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to kind of put it out there, and I'm going to say that it is. I would say 31-28. 31-28.
For
that's what I'm saying. And
the Bengals or for the Rams?
It's gonna be. I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna go with my heart. I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals. Yeah. And again, do I think they're gonna win? I don't know. I just don't know.
I just don't know. But anything is possible.
I'm gonna go for the underdog. I'm gonna go for. I don't even know what the bet is. Are they underdogs? I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, no. The Rams are 3.5 point favorites. The Rams are.
They are 3.5 favorites. Okay.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna tell you something straight up, Doug. I'm gonna come around and say it. I agree with you. I'm going with the Bengals as well. I'm picking them 24-20. Is my sort of official score prediction. I just love the fact that the Bengals, just for the Cinderella story of it all. I mean, second-year quarterback, you know, basically no one expected them.
Reminds me a lot of the 2001 Patriots.
A lot of people didn't even expect them to get out of the first round, let alone make it all the way to the Super Bowl. And I know the Rams have sort of been a Cinderella story as well. But let's face it, the Rams played 2 of their 4 playoff, or played, No, 2 of their 3 games so far they played at home because they hosted the Cardinals and then hosted the 49ers. They haven't really had like
Bengals have been away.
the Bengals were home the first weekend, but then the next 2
Right.
weekends they had to go on the road against the top seed and then the defending two-time defending AFC champion in 2 consecutive weeks and win games that no one gave them a chance to win on the road.
I also think the Bengals have a ton of confidence right now.
Yeah,
I mean they're
playing with house money,
and it's exuding from Joe Burrow, and it's exuding. And once you have that confidence level, it's tough to beat. It really is tough to beat. So that's why I'm picking them.
And I'm also picking them because I would just love. And I know last year, I rooted for the Bucs, whose home stadium it was in, but obviously that was because it's sort of the Brady factor and all of that. But I just love this year to see the Bengals go into the Rams home stadium and beat the Rams in their home field right there. So we don't have 2 straight years of the home field team winning the Super Bowl. The funny thing is the Rams are actually the designated visiting team for this game. So they have to use the visiting locker room at their own stadium, which I think is kind of funny. But it was also interesting that 2 weeks ago in the NFC Championship game, I think there may have actually been just as many, if not more, 49ers fans in SoFi Stadium than there were Rams fans. So it remains to be seen what that crowd's going to look like this time.
Yeah,
what this crowd's
that was funny,
like.
man. I don't know how that happened.
There was just a sea of red, all around the stadium. It was crazy, man. I'll tell you.
I know. I don't understand that. All right.
But it'll be interesting to see what the sort of fan atmosphere looks like for this game. But I'm in complete agreement with you. I'm pulling for the Bengals as well. We may both be dead wrong here, but it's okay. In a game like this, we really don't have a rooting interest, so it just going with our guts and seeing where it leads us. So it's all good.
And the Puppy Bowl, I'm going with the the blue side.
Puppy Bowl.
I don't even know. I don't.
You might as well give me a kiddie ball prediction at that. Oh, your eyes.
I wouldn't even know how to predict.
How do you predict the Puppy Bowl? Team Labrador wins. I don't know.
Team. I don't know. Don't they have like a red team and a blue team? I don't know.
Probably. I don't know. I don't really watch the Puppy Bowl. I mean,
I don't watch the Puppy Bowl.
I don't even know what channel it's on. I don't know anything about it. So it's all good. But no, just Super Bowl Sunday is always a fun day. So definitely should be quite the exciting day, regardless of what happens.
Hey Robbie, I think next year you and I should go to the Super Bowl and be on Radio Row.
Got it. The podcast on Radio Row.
The Sports Blitz from the Super Bowl.
From LA. Where's the Super Bowl? Vegas. I don't even know where the Super Bowl is next year. I'm just naming random cities. I have no idea where it is. The Sports Blitz from a random McDonald's in whatever city, the Super Bowl is.
No, I want to be right on Radio Row. We got a little thing.
Do they do podcasts on Radio Row? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Do they? So. Okay. All right. Well,
podcasts are done. I know podcasts have been done on Radio Row.
Well, hey, listen, I mean, if anybody out there is watching and has any sort of hookups within the NFL, please, we would love to.
Hook us up with a couple of lanyards.
Seriously.
A couple of enter here lanyards.
Yeah, exactly.
Super Bowl press.
Get us in, man.
Any kind of press lanyards that you have, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be kind of very, very cool. I've always wanted to do that. Always wanted to do that.
No,
we may have to walk there, but it's who knows.
It would be well worth it if we could ever get to that level, being able to be on Radio Row. I would literally hitchhike there if it meant doing that. So, but anyway, cool. Doug, I do want to sort of move on to the second half of our episode because you had a really cool idea for a fun little game. Sometimes, if you've watched these episodes in the past, we like to do some fun games, especially sometimes a lot of the times they're related to sort of topics that we're talking about. and stuff like that, or current events and stuff like that. So it's only fitting that we do sort of a Super Bowl themed game here. Doug, since this was your idea, I kind of want to turn the reins over to you here and sort of let you set us up here what we are going to be doing, because I'm very much looking forward to this. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing some Super Bowl trivia, and it is kind of it's all about Super Bowl. It could be depending on what you're thinking about. I found a whole bunch of. I just went online and tried to grab some.
For some odd reason, I decided, I don't know why. Maybe I was just in a mood. I decided to do my questions on like 3 particular Super Bowls. No idea why I did that, but anyway, we're gonna just move past it.
All good. It's trivia. It's it's fun. So trivia is always fun, whether it's movie trivia or if it's sports trivia. It really doesn't matter. So I think we'll do. Do you have a thought on how many questions that you wanted to do? You want to do?
I mean,
10 each.
I
go first, then you go next.
Sure.
Or whatever?
Yeah. However you want to do it. This is your show. This is your show. I'm kicking myself off of our show here.
Get out of here, Robbie.
But no, this is.
You're done. You're out.
Yeah, exactly.
My
See
show.
you. Goodbye. I'll show myself the door here. No, however you want to do. I got 10 questions. However you want to just sort of do the format here is good with me. One and one sounds.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I do have both. I do have multiple choice, and I do have some just regular questions. But
I'll be honest, I have all multiple choice. But
yeah, I have multiple choice here. I have how many questions do I have multiple choice? I got like 15 multiple choice, so that should be enough.
Well, hold on. Hold on a second. I only have 10 questions total.
We don't have to do. We don't have to do all of them. We could do 10. I just happen to have 15.
Oh yeah,
that's
all. I know. I was just kind
of. Yeah, we could. We don't have to do 15. We could just do 10.
I hope we don't have to do 15 because I have to come up on the fly with 5 more questions. You don't want to see me try to.
All right, well, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, come up on the fly, man.
All right. Dead air.
Okay, so I will no. So I will go first, and then we'll go to you.
Sure. Yeah.
So this is multiple choice.
Okay.
Just one college has produced 3 different Super Bowl MVPs. What is it? A, Alabama, B, Georgia, C, Michigan, and D, Notre Dame.
3 different Super Bowl MVPs from the same college. There are two of those answers are sort of standing out for me. I don't know if it's just sort of my gut or if it's actually like real, or at least a real attempt at knowledge here. But I'm gonna go with my guy. I'm probably gonna be dead wrong on this. I'm gonna go with the University of Michigan. I don't know.
That is a great choice, but that's not correct.
Figured.
No, it's okay. It's actually Georgia.
Wow. Okay, that was not one of my top 2. It was either between me. It was either Michigan or Alabama.
When I first saw this question,
Jeez.
I swear to God, it was Alabama, but it's not. It's not. Wow, unbelievable, craziness.
Well, that's okay. I mean, hey, listen, I can't get them all.
Nope.
So my first question, Doug, again, all mine are multiple choice. I'll sort of say that straight up, so I don't have to.
Yeah, all mine are going to be multiple choice too.
All right.
decided that.
So my first question to you, Doug, is in Super Bowl 53, which obviously featured the Patriots and the LA Rams. How many total yards did the Patriots have in that game? Was it 365, 407, 465, or 469? stat-based questions.
Wow. So that was Super Bowl
53.
Super Bowl 53.
Yeah. So the Patriots'
How
last
many
Super Bowl appearance.
How many yards did the Patriots have
Yeah.
in Super Bowl 53?
Would you like the choices again? Would you like the choices again?
Yeah. Give me the. I know 3 of them are like over 400.
It was 365, 407, 465, or 469.
Okay, I wrote them down. The last one you said was 469?
Correct. Not the correct answer, but yes, you are correct.
No, I get it. No, I didn't need that. I'm going to go with C. Whatever C is, like the third one down.
465.
Yes.
That was close. It's incorrect though. It was B, 407.
407. All right.
Total yards for the Patriots in their Super Bowl 53 win against the Rams. So there you go. Some useless knowledge, some useless stats for you from that particular Super Bowl.
All righty. So 3 teams are these 3 teams are tied with the most Super Bowl losses with 4. What are they? A, Dallas, Denver, and Buffalo. B, Buffalo, Minnesota, or Miami. C, Denver, Minnesota, Miami. Or D, Denver, Buffalo, Minnesota.
Oh, well, I know it can't be C because Buffalo has 4 losses. And Buffalo wasn't a choice for C. So I'm kind of doing educated deduction here, giving myself a better chance. What were A and B again?
Sure. A was Dallas, Denver, and Buffalo.
Okay.
And B was Buffalo, Minnesota, Miami. Not easy.
And you said D was Buffalo, Denver, Minnesota?
Yes.
Okay. Oh man, I know Buffalo's in there somewhere because again I 4 losses in a row. I'm gonna go again, this is just a complete guess here. I'm gonna go with D. Denver, Minnesota, and Buffalo.
That is correct.
Wow. Okay. All right. Shocked myself, but okay. Cool. Good for
correct.
Good for
All
Denver,
3 of those
Buffalo,
teams,
and well, not good for them, but still good for me guessing completely that those were the 3.
No, that was good.
Well, I knew it couldn't have been Miami because, well, first of all, I know that was the one that didn't have Buffalo in it anyway. But Miami, I feel like never loses Super Bowls, though it's the ones that they played in.
Right.
But all right, cool. So for my second question, I'm gonna stick with Super Bowl 53. I kind of went in chronological order here, so that's why my questions sound chronological because they are. In Super Bowl 53, which wide receiver for the Rams had the most, or which player for the Rams had the most receiving yards in that Super Bowl 53 game? Was it Robert Woods, Josh Reynolds, CJ Anderson, or Brandon Cooks?
Can you say those again?
Sure, Robert
Just
Woods.
the answers.
Yeah, Robert Woods, Josh Reynolds, CJ Anderson, or Brandon Cooks?
Better if I look at it.
And again, it's most receiving yards for the Rams.
Okay.
This is Super Bowl 53 specifically. I feel like we should cue up the Jeopardy music, like while we're thinking of the answers to these questions.
Yeah, really. That's a good thought.
Or I could just sing it, although I don't think anybody wants to hear that.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna go with I'm looking at him and I can't. I'm just gonna go with I'm gonna go with CJ Anderson.
That's a good guess, but that is not correct. It was actually Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, who, by the way, in that game was playing against his former team, the old friend of the Patriots, Brandon Cooks. He had 120 receiving yards in Super Bowl 53 to lead all Rams receivers. So there you go. good old friend Brandon Cooks.
Yes. All right. Oh, that's too easy.
Oh, come on. You gotta give me the easy one. Yeah.
Which team, there it goes. It's actually a good question. Which team that has won a Super Bowl is in the longest drought since their last win?
Ooh.
A, Chiefs, B, Jets, C, Dolphins, D, Raiders.
Oh, geez. All right. I'm going to do a little deductive sort of educational deduction here and say that's not
educational deduction.
Yes.
Whatever.
I'm going to say that's not the Chiefs, seeing the fact they just won it 2 years ago. And all those other teams have definitely won it. Definitely have not won it since in the last 2 years. Boy. Not helping. All right. I'm I don't feel like it's Miami because I feel like Miami won it, like especially those undefeated teams were after the Jets and Raiders had last won theirs. I'm gonna go with the Jets.
That's correct.
Oh wow, okay. Well, I just figured like the last one, the only one or the last one I can remember the Jets winning was Namath, and I felt like Madden won his like after Namath, and then the Dolphins obviously, won theirs more recently than that as well. So there you go.
Oh.
All right, my next question, Doug, and this may be, well, we'll see if this is the hardest question of my 10, but this is, again, a lot of mine, I will be honest up front, are a lot of like sort of stats and numbers based questions. So there you go. Sticking with Super Bowl 53 again, what was the attendance, the listed attendance for that Super Bowl 53 between the Rams and Patriots? Was it A, 70,081? You might want to be jotting these down, Doug, because
I'm going to jot it down.
Yeah. So A is 70,081. B is 70,083. C is 71,100. And D is 71,105. Again, this is the attendance for Super Bowl 53 between the Rams and Patriots.
Ooh,
Nelly.
Okay. Yeah, well, this is going to be a guess.
Okay.
No, it's definitely going to be a guess because. Okay, so I want to make sure I get this right. So A was 70,081.
Yep.
B was 70,083.
Yep.
C was 71,100.
Correct.
Okay, and the last one was 71,105.
Correct. Yep, you got it.
All right. So I'm thinking that it probably wasn't. I'm gonna just the thought process of narrowing it down would probably start with the fact that, I mean, did those three people show up? I mean, did they really show up? So to make it, different. And I've seen this at Red Sox games, and a lot of times what they do is that they don't inflate it. What they do is that they try to mix you up a little bit. But on the flip side of it, they don't typically, when you have the list, the games that I've gone to, when you have the list, it has not been the top one. At least the games I've gone in, the top one. So I'm gonna cut that one out, and so I got 3 left. I don't think it's that. I don't know. This is gonna be complete guess. Any idea? Okay, I'm gonna go eeny meeny miny moe. Let's see what happens. Okay, here's my guess, and again, complete guess. No idea. I don't think it's any of the big ones. So my last 2, I'm going to say, are the 2 that I'm thinking about that they probably are. At least one of them. I don't know. Obviously, it's one of them. But I'm trying to think of whether those 2 people actually showed up, or they just didn't get counted because they went to the concession stand, or I mean, what was the deal? So it's between A and B right now for me, and I'm just going to go with my gut feeling, and I'm going to say, which is going to be wrong. It's going to be wrong. I'm going to say A.
You're saying 70,081.
Correct.
And you are correct. Very good. Yes, it was 70,081.
No, stop it.
No, I'm serious.
Is that true?
Yeah, 70,081 fans attended Super Bowl 53.
Oh my God, is my mojo coming back?
There you go. Good job, Doug. There you go.
I don't know what's happening. I was just trying to narrow it down a little bit.
Well, you definitely narrowed it down. But yeah, no, very good.
This is actually a really good one.
Okay.
And I think you know all these coaches. So, okay. So, who is the oldest coach ever to win the Super Bowl?
Ooh.
A. Dick Vermeil, B. Tom Landry, C. Don Shula, or D. Marv Levy?
Ooh, okay. Well, I think I can eliminate Marv Levy right off the bat, because he coached in Buffalo. But he coached in Buffalo and they never won a Super Bowl. But anyway, again, that's just from my education or non-educated deduction that I'll probably blow up in my face. I actually have a gut, and I'm just gonna go right with my gut. I'm not even gonna spend any more time.
Think about it that much.
I'm not even gonna spend any more time on it, because if I do, it's not gonna help me whatsoever. Is what it comes down to. I'm gonna go Dick Vermeil. Final answer.
Correct.
Wow. Okay, that's right. There you go. Because I feel like I had heard when he won it, against the Titans with St. Louis, that he was like the oldest coach to win it at that time, and there definitely hasn't been a coach older that has won it since then, because he was pretty up there. So cool. All right. I think I'm like 3 or 4, or like
you are 3.
4. What?
You are 3. I'm 1.
That's all right. You still got plenty of time. We still got like a whole half plus of questions to go here. So, All right, this one is my final one for Super Bowl 53. I will tell you that much. And it is more on the entertainment side, than it is stats or game wise. But my fourth question to you is, which musical act was the headliner of the Super Bowl 53 halftime show? Was it Outkast? Was it Snoop Dogg? Was it Maroon 5? Or was it Linkin Park? Doug's like, who are these people that he's mentioning?
No, I know.
No, I know.
I'm a music guy. I know.
I know. I know.
Yeah,
hey,
but I know what you're saying, though.
You're DJ Doug, so I mean, you probably know them better than I do. You probably know their music better than they do, for all I know.
I can't stand out. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
I can't stand Outkast.
Not a big fan either, so I don't know. I don't blame you.
Can't stand it, man. All right, so let's look at the time.
All right, let's look at the time as now Doug's face has completely disappeared off screen. All I'm just seeing is
sorry. I was looking. I was looking at the time. It's
all of a sudden I just see like this. It's just like
I was way down there. All right, so let's look at the time and let's look at what they. All right, so let me just make sure I got these right.
Yep.
A was Outkast.
Yep.
B was Snoop Dogg.
Yep.
C was Maroon 5.
Correct.
And D was. How come I can't read my own writing? Oh, Linkin Park.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take Linkin Park right out because I do not believe. First of all, I don't like them. Second of all, I don't think they were there because they suck. Okay, so
honest. Wait, here's an honest question. I know I'm completely. Who would you prefer, Linkin Park or Nickelback?
Linkin Park.
You really, so you're one of the people that really just cannot, because like all the people I hear about Nickelback is like they're basically a band that you either love or you hate. Like there's no in between.
Yes.
With Nickelback, and I happen to love them.
I have to love all music.
But I find that very no. Hey, listen, you have a right to your opinions musically, and I mean, hey, listen, you just because you're a DJ and a music guy does not mean that you have to love every single band known to mankind. You have a right to
or song. I might like the band, but I might not like the song.
But no, I just was curious because I know a lot of people have very strong opinions either way on Nickelback.
Yes.
So that's okay, cool.
Yeah. I also don't think it was Outkast. I don't know why. Some reason that's just not hitting me in the right way. Or anyway, that's what's up. So it's between Snoop and Maroon.
Outkast, which by the way, not to influence not trying to at all influence your answer, but Outkast, a band from the city that Super Bowl 53 was in, Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, right. Yes.
Again, no, don't. That was just kind of a fun side note.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Don't let me influence your guessing here, your thought process.
No, not at all. I'm gonna say that is probably wrong. I'm gonna give a guess.
Okay.
This is it. It's probably it may be wrong, but I'm gonna give a guess. This is actually a group I definitely like a lot. And my guess is gonna be Maroon 5.
And you're correct. Absolutely. Yeah, you got it. You got it, and you're absolutely right. Maroon 5, great band. I love a lot of their stuff as well.
Yes.
So definitely with you there on the Maroon 5 side of things. Hey, you're back to 500, Doug. You're 2 of 4.
I am.
You've climbed out of the well, or halfway out of the well, at least.
Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure I get that. All right. I'll either ask that one or. Oh, for this one, I'm going to ask you a numbers question myself.
Okay.
What is the biggest margin of victory in a Super Bowl?
Oh God.
A, 35 points.
All right,
B,
no, I'm not going to
42
get
points.
this one.
C, 45 points, and D, 55.
All right. So wait, can you repeat those numbers one more time? Sorry, I kind of missed it a little bit.
No, that's fine. 35 points is A is 35.
Yeah.
B is 42.
Okay.
C is 45. And D is 50.
55?
55, yes.
55, okay.
Biggest margin of victory.
I have a feeling, again, I could be completely wrong here. But my gut tells me that it's one particular game, but I cannot remember what the exact margin of victory was for that game, which doesn't really help me.
Not particularly, considering it's a numbers question.
I just feel like it was that Dallas Buffalo game, because I know Dallas like killed them in that one Super Bowl, and I feel like, but again, I haven't been around for like half the Super Bowls, so could possibly be very wrong. I'm gonna go because honestly, like it's like one of these questions where if I sit and think about it, it's not gonna do me any good because I don't like know it like right at the tip of my tongue. So I'm just going with my gut here, and I'm gonna say that it was 45.
That's correct.
Okay, cool. Don't know how I pulled that one on my ass, but there you go.
It happens, man. It happens.
Do we know which game it was?
Nope, doesn't say.
I was just curious if it was my Buffalo Dallas Super Bowl. But
it does not say.
I will. That's something to be researched at another time. All right. Don't know why I just said that so loudly. So, question number 5 for me takes us to Super Bowl 54, which featured the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs ended up winning Super Bowl 54. But my question to you, Doug, or question 5, is in the first half of Super Bowl 54, how many total points between the two teams were scored? Was it 15, 20, 24, or 30?
The first two are one's 15, one's 20.
Yeah. And then 24 and 30 are the last two. And again, this is total points scored in the first half between the two teams.
I don't remember Super Bowl 54. So I'm like, yeah. It's gonna be tough. Last one's 30.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like I should put some like hold or like elevator music here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was gonna put that music on again. Okay, so the reason that there's a question like this is it's obvious that there was a lot of points scored. And maybe there wasn't. But but I mean, if you think about it, if it was like if you had said 3, 7, 14, 21, that's totally different than the numbers you just gave me. So logically, you'd think that there's a reason for the question. The question is that maybe by the halftime, there was a lot of points on the board. Maybe by both teams. So I'm going to eliminate 15. I'm going to eliminate 20. Let's do 24, 30. I'm just going to go with my gut because I don't really know because I don't remember the game. That's pretty bad. I don't remember the game. I'm just going to go with my gut, go with the highest one, and I'm going to say 30. Final answer.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. It was actually 20. The score was tied 10-10 at halftime between the Niners and Chiefs. So,
wow. Okay. See, I told you they didn't remember the game.
it was funny. As soon as you eliminated 20, I sort of just put a nice little X there, but it's all good. Because I don't know how I'm pulling some of these answers out of my butt for your question, so I could very easily be 2 of 5 myself. I still don't understand how I got that last question right. But there you go, figure. So speaking of the second half, Doug, we're on to the second half of our questions.
Yes, we are. Trying to find a harder question. Okay, here it comes. One quarterback had a ridiculously high 88% completion percentage in a Super Bowl game. Who is he? A, Troy Aikman. B, Bart Starr. Bart Starr, by the way, if you don't know, was in Super Bowl I. C, Joe Namath. Or D, Phil Simms.
Okay, so 88% completion percentage.
Completion percentage.
And it's Star. I'm not. I know I'm not giving these in order, but I'm just trying to remember the names. It was Star, Namath, Aikman, and Sims were the 4 choices.
Correct.
See, again, this is one of the questions where I'm trying to figure out, like, does one name sort of just in my gut stand out above the others? Because I honestly don't have a clue. One, so I'm gonna go with the one that kind of stands out in my gut, just because he's been in a bunch of them. I'm gonna go take a complete wrong guess and say Troy Aikman.
So you're going with A?
I'm going with A, Troy Aikman.
That is not correct.
Figured.
It would be Phil Simms.
Ooh. Well, funny thing is, Sims was my second choice, so it was sort of between Aikman and Sims for me. But
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, it is what it is, you know.
All right. So now moving on to my next question, which if I can find it. All right. So again, we're sticking with Super Bowl 54 here. Again, Chiefs and Niners, the game that Doug totally remembers. I'm going to ask another sort of, well, I mean, a lot of these are stat-based questions, as I indicated, but how many total, let's see if I can get through this. How many total first downs did Kansas City have in Super Bowl 54? Was it 19, 24, 26, or 30? Again, total
You're
first.
Kidding, right?
No,
I don't remember the freaking game, let alone to remember how many first downs they had. Oh my God. Wow. First downs. Oh man. And was it the Chiefs you said?
Yeah. How many points? Geez, how many first downs did the Chiefs have in that Super Bowl 54?
And you know this is going to be a complete guess.
Yep, that's okay.
I'm going to say 24.
You are really close. It was actually 26. So you were off by 2. So you actually weren't that. Your guess was not that bad. Your guess was pretty close. But yeah, it was 26 first downs for the Chiefs in Super Bowl 54.
I can't ask you that. You were born in what year?
Do I really want to say on air? No, I'll be honest. I was born.
Was it early 90s?
And it was in 90s, so about as early in the 90s as one could possibly get.
Okay, because I was going to ask you a question about the halftime show in 1991.
Oh, do it! Come on, do it! I'm now that you said it, you got to do it.
Okay. In 1991, the halftime show was not shown live. Instead, coverage of Operation Desert Storm was broadcast. Which musical act was preempted? In other words, Desert Storm came on during the halftime show, but it was preempted by. Okay, so
surprisingly, I know what the word preempted means.
Yes, A. Gloria Estefan.
Okay.
B. Michael Jackson. C. Tiffany, or D. New Kids on the Block.
Okay. I have. I mean, again, I was, as you well pointed out, I was about 2-3 years old at this point, so I definitely was not glued to the television. Maybe I was, but I didn't really know what was going on. Who knows? But I have a gut feeling right away that kind of stands out. I don't know why this is leading me this way, but I'm just going to go with it because I really don't know otherwise. I'm going to say Gloria Estefan.
That is a great guess. Wrong. It was New Kids on the Block.
Okay. You know what? That's funny. That was my
yes, though.
Again, it came down to Estefan or New Kids for me because I had a feeling it wasn't going to be Michael Jackson, and I don't even remember who the second, the third, the other one was.
No, that's fine. It's all good.
All right, cool. Well, I think I don't even know what my score is currently.
I do. It's you still have 4, and I still have 2.
Yep. Okay. Well, hey, still 4 more questions to go.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, 3. Well, 4 more for me, 3 more for you.
Yeah.
I got 4 more. All right.
Correct.
Next question for me. So, as I mentioned before, our old Patriots pal Jimmy Garoppolo was the starting quarterback and one of the starting quarterbacks in Super Bowl 54 for the good old San Francisco 49ers. My question to you, Doug, what?
Oh, go ahead. I'm waiting for a question I have no idea about. But go ahead.
My question to you,
how many
Doug,
shoelaces does Jimmy Garoppolo have on each foot?
No, my question to you, Doug, is how many completions did Jimmy Garoppolo have at Super Bowl 54? Was it 13? Was it 20? Was it 25? Or was it 27?
I don't care.
Fine, then I quit. I quit the game and just.
I quit.
All right. Yeah. So how many completions did he have? 13, 20, 25, or 27?
Oh my God. I do
By the
not
way,
know.
just so you know, this is my last Super Bowl 54 question, I promise. So.
Excellent. Fabulous.
Fabuloso.
Not really, because I have no idea. I'm going to go with 13.
So close, but wrong. It's actually 20. 20 completions in the Super Bowl 54 loss to the Chiefs. So there you go.
How did he lose if he had 20 completions? up with that?
His defense just stunk in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Mhm.
on to question number 8 for both of us.
All right. Here's my next question. Which quarterback threw the most interceptions in a single game with 5? 5 interceptions.
Okay.
Is it A, John Elway? Is it B, Rich Gannon? Is it C, Jim Kelly? Or is it D, Trent Dilfer?
All right. So I'm, again, educated reasoning here, educated deduction. I'm gonna eliminate Elway and Dilfer because they both pretty much won theirs. At least Dilfer definitely won his. I don't know if Elway lost Super Bowl at any point. I know the one that I know of, he won.
Yeah, but you could still win a game and have 5 minutes.
I know, but I'm just
Yeah.
I just again
No,
this,
it's okay.
this is my thought process here. I hear
I
ya.
get it.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with my gut again because I feel like I remember this from this particular game, but I'm probably gonna be completely wrong here, but I'm gonna go for it anyway, Doug. And I'm gonna say Rich Gannon.
Correct.
Yeah, it was against the Bucks, I believe. I remember he the Bucks sort of gave him fits defensively that day, so that sounded about right. All right, Doug. So now for my last 3 questions, we are going to move on to the last Super Bowl to be played, and that is Super Bowl 55, the Chiefs and the Bucks. Good old friend Tom Brady's final Super Bowl win, we think at least. But my first question is kind of a fun one, Doug. It's kind of a fun statistical one here. In Super Bowl 55, featuring the Chiefs and the Bucks,
how many feet did Tom Brady? How many feet was Tom Brady from his family?
That's
Oh.
this is even worse. In
Great.
the Super Bowl 55 game between the Chiefs and Bucks, how many combined punts were there? Super Bowl?
What? You saying, dude? My God, I'm sorry. I had to swear because this is crazy. How many punts and did how many laces were on the shoe that punted the ball?
Hey man, was it, so getting into the actual answers, was it 5, 6, 7, or 8 combined punts between the 2 teams?
I don't care. Okay. Let's say boy. How am I supposed to freaking know? Wait.
I'm waiting.
All right, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with 7. Yes.
You are correct. Very good.
Oh.
Yes, it's 7 punts combined between the 2 teams.
I wouldn't have known that.
Neither would I, if I hadn't looked it up. All right. So now we are on to the second to last round of questioning, and yeah, question 9.
All right. I don't know when these questions came out, but I'm not sure if that's right. Oh, yeah, maybe it is. Okay, I'm just going to ask it, thinking that it probably is correct. It kind of makes sense because of the question, and you'll know why. 4 Heisman Trophy winners have also been Super Bowl MVPs. Who was the most recent? A. Desmond Howard, B. Jim Plunkett, C. Charles Woodson, D. Marcus Allen. A little bit of a trickier question.
Yeah, this is definitely a great question.
Yeah. Because it combines. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. It makes sense. It is very possible that this is
well,
the latest.
I know. So just so I'm. So it was Howard. It was Plunkett. It was
Woodson
and
Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen. All right. I feel like I can eliminate Plunkett and Allen because I know Howard won, and he was, well after those guys because it was the Packers Super Bowl win against the Patriots. I'm trying to think, when would Woodson have won one, and would have been after? See, the problem is it's the me not remembering that is the me blanking on Woodson that is giving me pause here, but I'm gonna take a shot and probably be wrong. I'm gonna say Desmond Howard.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. Who did Woodson win one for?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Okay. I didn't know if you knew off the top of your head, because I certainly don't, as evidenced by my line of thinking for that question. All right, Doug. Question number 9 for me, and I promise this is the final stat-based question for me. We were talking about Patrick Mahomes earlier, and so my question to you is: in that Super Bowl 55 appearance against the Bucs, how many rushing yards did Patrick Mahomes have in the Super Bowl 55 loss to the Buccaneers? Was it 33, 41, 50, or 55?
Since I know so much about that game. All right, so we got 33, 41, 50, and 55.
Correct.
Okay. I do remember one thing. He ran, but he didn't run for a lot during that game. I mean, like,
it was a pretty convincing loss for the Chiefs in that game,
and
too.
I'm gonna cut out 55 and 50. So I'm gonna go with a 50-50 guess of either 33 or 41, and I'm gonna say we'll go with my gut. Loss. Oh my gut, and I'm gonna say 33.
That is correct. Very good. Your gut did not fail you that time. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I mean, definitely a low number for him, but given the fact that game they kind of got blown out there by the Bucks in that one. It was not the best day for the Chiefs on many different fronts. So there you go. But by the way, Doug, so as we head into the last round of questions, you do have a chance to get to that 50% mark if you can get the last question right.
Okay.
Just saying. Yeah, this is our last round of questions, folks. The last one.
All right. Only one cornerback has ever been named Super Bowl MVP. Who is it? Okay.
Wait, quarter or corner?
Corner.
Okay, so like the defensive one.
Cornerback. Yes.
Got it.
Not quarterback. Quarterback. A. Larry Brown. B. Deion Sanders. C. Charles Woodson. And D. Herb Adderley.
Well, considering your last question that you asked me, I'm gonna go with Charles Woodson.
That's a great answer. This is great. But that is incorrect. Larry Brown.
Okay. All right.
Larry Brown, and I believe it was.
Oh, I wonder if Charles Woodson didn't play cornerback. Maybe he played safety. I don't know.
It was Super Bowl XXX.
Okay. Well, there you go.
There it is.
We're not gonna go down that road, Doug, because as we've already established, my childlike mind.
So it was well, in 2016 they had an article that says that it was 20 years ago.
Whenever I think of Larry Brown, I think of the Bath NBA coach. So there you go.
He was on the Cowboys beat the Steelers at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona.
Okay.
And Larry Brown actually won the MVP.
Cool. Good for Larry Brown. Good for you, Larry Brown. Good for you.
Yes, good for you, Larry Brown.
By the way, just before I move on to my last question, how many did I finish with correct? I don't even remember.
You have 6.
Okay. All right. Hey, 60%. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Last question. And again, this is related to Super Bowl 55. Last year's Super Bowl. Who had, for the Buccaneers in their Super Bowl 55 victory, the most touchdown receptions for the Bucs at Super Bowl 55? Was it Antonio Brown? Was it Chris Godwin? Was it the Gronk himself, Rob Gronkowski? Or was it Cameron Brate? Most TD receptions.
Most TD receptions.
Yes, most touchdown receptions.
Okay, so the first one was who again?
It was Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Gronk, and Cameron Brate.
I'm going to go with Antonio Brown.
That, it's funny. I might have said the same thing, but it actually was Gronk. Gronk had 2. in Super Bowl 55. Brown had the first one. I know that, I remember that much. But yeah, he only had
that's
that.
what
That
I
was his
remember.
only. That was his only touchdown reception of the game, whereas Gronk had two. So there you go. All right. So that brings us to the end of our Super Bowl trivia challenge. Very well played, Doug. Some really great questions, and hopefully you all didn't tune out by now, because that did take forever, but it is what it is. I think as much time as this entire episode is going to be, I think, was how long that trivia game lasted.
Yes, I did notice that. Yeah.
No, it's all good. So let's just zip right out of the trivia lane and into our final thoughts for this episode number 110. Again, our Super Bowl 56 preview / Super Bowl trivia special here. And Doug, we will begin with you tonight for what are your final thoughts for this evening's episode?
I basically have two final thoughts, and they're actually from the same genre of sports.
Okay.
And this might have been one of yours, and I apologize if it is. But
I'm walking off now.
I mean,
okay, goodbye.
You're out of here. No, you can certainly put your 2 cents in if I say the same thing as yours, but I just start first, and that's just what it is. I guess I should start by saying that we at the Sports Blitz congratulate Tuukka Rask on an incredible career with the Boston Bruins. He has decided that his body is not responding the way he thought it was going to be to everything that he has to do to get back to greatness. And he has decided to hang up his skates and retire. And he put a fantastic letter together. If you haven't read it, please.
Yeah.
No,
you're
please
absolutely
go
right
on.
that, yeah.
Google or Bing, whatever you have. Just go on there and see the letter. The letter was really. It was like it made me well up a little bit because it's just over the top with being here. He only wanted to be here. He didn't want to go anywhere else. Kind of that old style of play, the Larry Bird of the world. Those kinds of players who don't want to go anywhere. They just want to stay in one place. But just want to congratulate him on, just a great career with the Boston Bruins. He will be missed. And, that's really, yeah, absolutely. But I think he did the right thing, though.
Yeah,
absolutely. And this is a little controversial, too, is that I think he did the right thing because he doesn't want to hang on to something that's really not there. And then to hang on and put Swayman, way back to where he could get some time and keep getting better as a very, very
or
young
even Allnark, too.
goalie.
Swayman or Allnark.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Exactly. But again, Allmark being more of a veteran player.
Right.
But again, I think it's for the best, especially if he didn't think his body was going to come back. So that's perfect. But again,
I agree.
We wish him the best. And I guess he's gonna have Boston as at least one of his homes. So that's great. So maybe we'll see him.
Yeah,
not personally, but maybe we'll see him down the road sometime.
Shout out to Tuukka, absolutely.
Yeah, absolute shout out to Tuukka. The other one that I have is more of a, I don't know how to present this except for this particular Bruin.
You can call Brad Marchand stupid. It's okay. We're all good.
I was going to do that. I was trying to figure out how to start doing that. This particular Boston Bruin, who just lost his cool and control again, and
not the first time.
Not again. Yes, not the first time. This was absolutely, and I had to watch the video because I didn't really see it. But when you watch the video, I'm surprised he only got 6 because this was absolutely uncalled for. This was wrong. This was stupid, and and me being a Bruins fan, don't want him to be out at all because he's a great player. But the fact is that he lost his cool and he acted in an unsportsmanlike kind of way. And I actually don't think 6 games is really enough. I think he lucked out on that.
Yeah.
Just because of the severity. I mean, he didn't hurt anybody, but still, the severity of punching a goalie in the face and then taking a stick and spearing him. It may not have been hard. The guy's covered in pads. You could take the stick and start slamming that guy, and he's going to be fine because the pads are there. But still, doing those 2 things is just absolutely uncalled for. I'm actually, in some ways, I'm embarrassed because this is why they hate us in some way. They hate Boston because Boston's dirty. And I don't want people to think that we're dirty because we're not. But it's one of those things where it just continues with Marchand. So it's one of those things where I don't know what he's going to be able to do to not do this anymore, but somebody's got to take over and grab him and say, look, no, you can't do this. Right. And I just wanted to say that, kind of up front. I just thought it was very uncalled for and very unsportsmanlike, and I'm embarrassed about it.
Yeah,
I'm embarrassed about it, and I don't.
It was a
really
cheap
get
shot.
Embarrassed too much about sports. It was
It was
both.
a cheap shot. Period.
2 cheap shots, not 1, but 2.
No. I mean, you're absolutely right. What I was more reacting to was, you talk about the thing to the chest or whatever. He's got pads, but then to punch him in the head. I mean, that could do some serious damage if you're not careful. I mean, that's just way crossed.
He does have a mask on, but still, it doesn't matter. He wasn't. I don't think the guy was even looking.
You don't do that.
I don't think the guy was even looking. Wait till the guy looks at you. Do it in a manly way. You're going to do it in a manly way. Start a fight with the guy, and take it out and let the guy drop some gloves and do it the right way. You don't do it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it was childish, and he was having a temper tantrum, and he continues to do this. He's a great player. Let me tell you, he's a great player, and he bugs other players, and he's very, very good at what he does. He's just I don't know what's going to keep him in control. And again, with what he did, I was very surprised that he only got 16, and I'm embarrassed by it. I really am.
No, I am too.
And I love the guy as a player. I'm just embarrassed by it.
But unfortunately, like you said, it's not the first time that this has happened with him, and I keep hoping each of the times will be the last time, and then it happens again. And this is one of the big weaknesses of Brad Marchand, is that sometimes he cannot control himself, and his temper and his chippiness sometimes gets the better of him. And it's very disappointing to see, especially at a juncture of the season where as we start to head into the later months of the season, every game is important. By the way, the Bruins just got their ass kicked at home by the good old Carolina Hurricanes tonight, losing 6-0 to Carolina. So definitely missing both Marchand and Bergeron, who's out with injury tonight. So definitely.
Yeah, I was going to say on a lighter note, get well, Bergeron, for your upper body injury. Get well soon, because we certainly need you out there. So.
Absolutely, we need the captain back.
On a lighter note, I didn't want to end on that, on Brad Marchand's stupidness. I wanted to end on a lighter note. So
no, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. But no, I'm in total agreement with you. I mean, you said it perfectly.
Yeah. So, Robbie, what are your final thoughts for this episode of the Sports Blitz? This super episode.
Well, so my final thought is, along with Doug's, not actually going to be football related, because I think we sort of talked football to death in our first 2 segments. My final thought, and it's I'm going to be kind of nice and inclusive of my final thought, because even though Doug did steal what was actually going to be my final thought, which is about Tuca, but that's okay. I won't hold it against him. Or maybe I will. Maybe
I had a feeling it was
I'll just mute him
Tuca.
for the entire next episode. You just come on the next episode, Doug's just muted the entire time. No, in all seriousness, I kid. But what I did want to ask you, Doug, actually, my final thought is more of a final question to you, Doug, because obviously today was a big day for another Boston sports team, in the sense that it was the NBA trade deadline this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Celtics, I know you are the basketball guru of the show, and the Celtics did make a couple moves. Trader Brad striking for a couple moves. The Celtics, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Celtics sent Jenna Schroeder, Inez Freedom, and Bruno Fernando to the Rockets for an old friend of the Celtics. We're talking about a lot of old friends tonight. Daniel Tice in exchange. He also sent Bol Bol and PJ Dozier, who were here for literally like a month.
3 seconds.
To Orlando for
They never saw the court.
Or draft pick. And then
they've been on the plane on the runway. They've been on the plane on the
entire time. They never
here.
actually landed in Boston.
No, they landed. They landed, but they haven't moved since. They were still on the plane, and now they're off to their other
and then,
city.
In the final move of the day, he did send Romeo Langford and Josh Richardson to San Antonio for is it Marcus White? Derek White. Sorry, Derek White. I knew the last name was White. I just could not remember the first name, so I apologize to Derek for forgetting his first name. But I wanted to ask you, Doug, for my final thoughts, final question is, being that you are the basketball guru of the show, just even if briefly here, what are your thoughts on these moves by Brad and the Celtics at this particular NBA trade deadline, and did they do enough in your eyes?
Yeah, I think really quickly, I think I really haven't heard anything yet, because I just heard the trades, and the trades were kind of late. Actually, the one with Daniel Tice was done, from what I heard, last minute, like literally right before 3 o'clock. It was not discussed beforehand. It was one of those things where they were like, "Oh, let's try to do this," and all of a sudden, like 5 minutes before 3 o'clock, they were on the phone with Houston trying to get this done. So that was a very, very last minute trade. So I was not able to kind of hear, A. Sherrod Blakely or any of the Celtics insiders. But from my personal opinion, I think he did pretty well. He traded Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder's a fairly good player, point guard, but he's at $6 million. And they got to be under the cap at some point. They got to be under that luxury tax, and they really wanted to do that. So you talk about Dennis Schroeder getting rid of his close to $6 million contract. You're also, bringing back, and then you're talking about Enos Freedom, who doesn't really play that often, but isn't really that good. He switched teams like he drinks water or he wears underwear. So, he's kind of like really quick on that. Not a bad rah-rah guy, but not, he's getting older and it's just not the greatest. Bruno Fernando, I thought, was a pretty good center, but no, he didn't get a lot of playing time toward the end when it was crunch time, or not crunch time, but at the end when it's, garbage time. That's when he got to go there. And then Josh Richardson, which I wasn't surprised about because his name's been tattering for weeks now. But Josh Richardson, I would have liked to keep. But on the flip side of it, they got from the Spurs somebody who's better than Josh Richardson. Way guard. He's very good. He last year he was 11.3 points per game. This year he's like 14 to 15 points per game, so he's getting better every year. I believe he's 27 years old, so still in his kind of prime. He's 6'4", but he's a two-way guard, so he could play shooting guard, and as 3-point percentage is over 30%. I think it's at 31 or 32%, 31, close to 32%, which is really good. And Robbie and I were talking about it at the pregame, and he was I can't stand it when they shoot threes. I'm like, well, his go in.
Thoughts on 3-pointers. So
I know, but what I was telling Robbie was because he shoots 31% from 3-point land, they actually
maybe Marcus Smart will stop taking so many crazy threes and just pass the ball off to him so he can shoot
I'm not saying that's going to happen.
Oh, no.
I will tell you that I thought that Brad Stevens did a pretty good job. Could he have done more? I don't think so. And the reason I say is because a lot of the players that I saw in reports had already been gone to other teams.
Right.
Karis LeVert went to Cleveland. Great player, kind of a lot like the guy that we just picked up. Point guard, really good shooter, blah blah, great shooter, and that's what we kind of needed was shooting because we need a little offense because we're one of the best defenses in the league right now.
Yeah.
So it was like he was already gone. He had already gone to the Cleveland. So like Cleveland wasn't going to. Cleveland wanted him. So it's one of those things where I don't think he could have done any more than he did. But the moves that he did got rid of Romeo Langford, which is a Danny Ainge. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
I can't say any more than that.
Yeah.
So the only thing I'm disappointed in is Josh Richardson. Josh Richardson is probably the only player that I thought was really good here, and he was actually doing pretty well. And they also picked him up for another year, but that other year was salary was really good, so that's why the Spurs wanted him in that way. But yeah, I didn't think he did a bad job. We'll have to see what goes down down the road. But I thought Brad Stevens did a pretty good job.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, sort of again, I don't follow these sort of guys that they got as closely, so that's why I sort of.
And by the way, bringing back Daniel Tice, great idea.
Yeah,
Tice was always really good here, and when he left, when they traded him, when Danny traded him, I got really upset because I thought
by the way,
fantastic job. And by the way, he wants to be here.
Well, and by the way, in the now 6 hours or so since Daniel Tice has been traded to the Celtics, he's already picked up 4 fouls. So just saying. But I'm joking.
Hey, listen,
obviously, but that was one of the things about Daniel Tice. He does sometimes have to get a little bit of foul trouble here. I remember on some very questionable calls, by the way. But
well, it's always questionable calls. I totally get that. Yeah, I mean, I totally get that, but I think it's I think it's a solid pickup because ever since he's left, he's actually done very, very well and continues to do well. Ever since he left, I think he started with Chicago.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's done really well, but you know what? He wants to come back to Boston. Anybody that wants to play here,
he's here.
Good.
It's all good, man. Good. It's all good.
So I think he did a pretty good job.
I agree with you. And I do have one actual final thought here. And again, it's unrelated to
on hour number 5 of the Sports Blitz.
Yeah, seriously, about ready to go to sleep over here.
Robbie, I just thought this episode's going to take a week just to download.
Probably, yeah. It'll be our Super Bowl preview after the Super Bowl.
I don't know what's going on.
But speaking of sort of this time of year, and there was sort of one sort of staple of Boston area college hockey that made a return this week to TD Garden after a year's hiatus, and that was the Bean Pie tournament. Like I said,
hot pots of beans.
The bean pie took place. The semifinals took place this past Monday, and I just want to send a congratulations over to Northeastern on their semifinal win. They beat Boston College. As many people know, I'm a big BC fan, so it's hard for me to congratulate Northeastern on beating the Eagles, but obviously Northeastern always strong and actually gunning for their 4th consecutive Bean Pod championship. So we'll have to see this coming Monday if they finish that off. In the other semifinal, BU beat Harvard to advance to the finals themselves. So this will be the 2nd consecutive final that features both BU and Northeastern. So we shall see what happens there. And also the women's bean pie also returned this year. And the finals of that was actually held Tuesday night with Harvard defeating BC. And that's a congratulations to Harvard on their women's bean pot title. So that's sort of all my final thoughts. And that's all the time, since we've spent about 2 hours of.
I think the final thoughts took longer than the trivia.
No, definitely nothing took long. I don't think anything we've ever had the show took longer than that trivia challenge. But it's all good. It's all good. We had fun. We had some fun with it. Hey, listen, folks. Assuming you made it all the way through to be watching us still right now, we would love to hear from you. First of all, if you have a Super Bowl prediction or thought on the Celtics at the trade deadline, the Bruins, the bean pie, I don't know, whatever you have a thought on, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. As always, we're definitely open to your comments, so please let us have it. And then as always, like, subscribe our channel here on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, and we're on Twitter as well. So please like and subscribe, tell your friends, subscribe, ring the bell, man. As we always say, ring the bell. Hey, listen, I want to send a big shout out as always to our now 2 sponsors, Zyman Organizing, obviously, and then Wes Woodson. Hopefully I got that name correct.
You did.
Okay, good. Phew. I was like, I'm gonna totally butcher this guy's name on his very first episode sponsoring us. But no, shout out to
his $2 back.
Yeah, seriously. The check was canceled. But shout out to both of them as always, much appreciated. Also shout out to our other 2/3 of our video series trifecta, that being Marvel at the Movies with Doug and Kyle, which I know there was a new episode just this week, which will be coming out soon.
Could
be any
new episode.
Could come out any time between a day from now or a year from now, based on Kyle's editing patterns.
Wow, that hurt.
That
hurt.
Shot fired.
It does take him a little while to do some editing, but if you guys got to see his editing.
No, I know.
Editing is incredible. But
I joke with him, but he does do an amazing job, and
he does.
I give him a lot of credit for all his editing skills. Just look at our intro and outros on the show. So Marvel at the Movies, obviously, and then On a Couch Talking Sports, which new episode, we actually did our own Super Bowl preview just last night. That episode is out now, so please take a look for that as well. But yeah, that wraps us up for episode number 110. Enjoy the big game on Sunday, everybody. Wherever and with whomever you are watching, whoever you're rooting for. Enjoy the halftime show, the commercials, whatever you watch the game for. I don't know. But anyway, that does it, Doug, for episode number 110, as I said. And that is Doug, as always, up top, or at least he is on my screen. I'm Robbie. And that is going to do it for us here from the Sports Blitz. And we will catch you next week for episode number 111. See you, everybody.